Hi, I'm Erin Anderson. I am really excited to be returning as an EIR this year at Belmont. I've done it, I think, 4 years now, and it's one of my favorite things I do. In addition to being an EIR, I run a company called Olivia Management. At that company, I manage musicians, which means I do high-level career strategy for musicians in folk and Americana music, singer-songwriters. Most of my artists are, really good in my opinion, good songwriters. I joke that, running this company, I run 9 businesses because I run the business for all of my artists. And I think about their marketing and their budgets and their touring and their recording and their merchandising strategy and their fan growth strategy and their customer acquisition and their cost of customer acquisition. I'm thinking about all of that for all of my artists and how to grow. In addition, I'm doing that for my business. So I joke that I run 9 businesses. And as an artist manager, and I specifically work with pretty independent artists, meaning there aren't big, huge record labels or big companies that are kind of coming in and dictating or paying the bills or running the show. We're doing it. So I get to be incredibly entrepreneurial with all of my clients, which is really, really fun. That being said, I'm not here just to talk to people about the music business. However, if you have a music business, I would love to talk to you. But I also am an adjunct professor here at Belmont. I have taught the Foundations in Entrepreneurship class, which is now called the Entrepreneurial Mind. I've taught that class for 14 years. I've taught some of the upper level entrepreneurship classes. I've taught Business Model U. I've taught venture management. And I really love the power that entrepreneurship brings to your life. It enables you to do what you want with your life. Running my company has enabled me to do what I want with my life. And it enables me to be here with y'all because I am my own boss and I can leave the office whenever I want to. So I want to talk to y'all about any businesses, any ideas you have. As I said, as an artist manager managing these artists' businesses, I am dealing with merchandising. I am dealing with sourcing products. I am dealing with getting things over from Europe and Asia and how to get things back over there when my artists go on tour there. So if you have those kind of problems, we could talk about it. I am dealing with long-term strategy planning. How do we, in an unpredictable market, how do we try to predict what's going to happen, what might come in, kind of thinking big picture for artists and helping them build long-term strategy for business growth. I am dealing with building teams for them. So finding all of the team members. So if you have the kind of business where you're looking for vendors or you're looking for different team members, I've spent a lot of time helping artists build that for themselves and built that for myself as well. In terms of my background, I went to Belmont. I graduated in 2006. I did a double major in entrepreneurship and music business. I loved my entrepreneurship education. In fact, I think I was the second class ever to graduate from Belmont with an entrepreneurship degree because it wasn't offered before that. I went on to work at a record label for a handful of years. I worked at Universal Music Group here in Nashville. And then I decided I wanted to go back to school and just be as educated as possible in business. So I went to Vanderbilt to get my MBA. And there I studied strategy, marketing, and entrepreneurship. As an aside, I will say that our entrepreneurship program here at Belmont, I think, is light years ahead of what I experienced at Vanderbilt because we want to serve all students no matter your business idea. And that makes me really happy. So if you want to start a coffee cart, we are here and we will help you do it. And if you want to start a multi-billion-dollar healthcare scalable business, we are also here and we will help you do it. And that's something I really love about being here. After I got my MBA from Owen, from Vanderbilt's Graduate School of Management, I was recruited to Amazon and I moved to Seattle for a couple years and helped grow the Amazon music team. And within Amazon, I got to be really entrepreneurial. It was fun. They kind of handed me the reins and said, go build this thing for us. What I learned very quickly is that I don't like building things under other people because then they have the power and they have the power to turn it off. And that's what happened. I built something for them for a couple years and it worked. It was growing. It just wasn't growing fast enough. And so they shut my project down and they were kind of trying to figure out where to put me. And I just said, you know what? I miss Nashville and I want to work for myself. I don't want to build something under the umbrella of someone else because then they have the power to shut it down. And so I moved back to Nashville in 2012 and started my company So it'll be 15 years in April of next year. Which is wild to me because I started it thinking, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to do my best. I believe in myself and my brain power and what I know and my connections. And I want to try to grow this thing. And so now it's somehow been 15 years and I have 6 management clients. I have 3 employees. I have 4 interns. I have 25 consulting clients. And it's really fun to say that I've spent the past 15 years in Nashville building this. All in between when I moved here for college and, now I've lived here for about 24 years. So if you're looking for connections in Nashville, I can probably introduce you to people. I would love to do that. I love doing that when I meet with student entrepreneurs to say, oh, I know someone that does that in Nashville and can connect you. So that would be really fun for me to do as well. Please come meet with me. I would love to talk to you about growing a business. I would love to talk to you about client relations. I would love to talk to you about employee relations and tell you stories about hiring and firing and laying off and making bad hiring decisions and making good hiring decisions. We can talk about all of that. I would love to talk to you about just making connections and growing your long-term strategy and all the different pieces that go into building a business. So please come schedule a meeting with me, and I look forward to getting to know you. Thank you.